And I think the ability to abstain from doing the easy, pleasurable thing that's right in front of you and picture a life that you can dream of, asking yourself if a better version of yourself exists, what that version of yourself is, picturing the plan to get there, and actually starting and executing on that plan, I think is such a rare thing right now, and so hard for people to stop and even think about, given how much constant distraction there is in their life. And that's what made me want to ask this kid. I was like, do you believe a better version of yourself exists?
No one's gonna fucking come to help me. It's fucking me against me, period. And so I had to man up, and I said, the first thing I gotta start doing is facing every fucking fear I have, no matter what the fuck it is, man. And these things would keep me up at night. No one, people who are hearing this shit, they will never really understand it.
But someone being able to ask you, what do you want with your life? Do you believe a better version of yourself exists? And take responsibility to take that into action. And the reason that question to ask yourself is, do you believe a better version of yourself exists? Is because if you say yes, you are admitting that you have faith.
Dude, that's why I wanted to come here today and talk to you about real shit. Not no fucking like hacks. There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. You against you. And if you misunderstand that, you have a real problem. A real problem. I can understand you misunderstand me running down the street, shirt off, fuck this, yeah. I can get it, I get it. If you misunderstand what I'm saying right now today, the problem is you. And you don't want to fix it.
Part of the reason why you're not successful at 40 years of age has to be you. Has to be. Some of it has to be. I mean, it could be a fucking avalanche of bad luck, one thing after the other, but I would like to see that you're making progress towards a better direction. But if you're stuck in this modality, if you're stuck in this mindset of, you know, the world fucks me over, it's like never gonna, no one's gonna want to be with you. No one's gonna want to have children with you. No one's gonna be willing to rely on you to support a family. Like, you have to get your shit together.
You know, if you ask the average kid, do you want to be exceptional? Do you want to do something great with your life? The answer is usually yes. But their actions very rarely align with it. And I feel like I didn't have anyone, and you don't need someone. The responsibility lies within yourself ultimately, always. But I do believe that like a role model could be a huge asset for pushing yourself to ask these hard questions and being like, if you want to be exceptional, what you're doing right now is average or even below average. And if you want to continue to be average or below average your whole life, then continue doing this. But you need to make a serious change and start doing hard shit and letting go of the easy shit, the comfortable, pleasurable shit.
This ain't you, bro. This ain't you. You weren't born like this.
Hard times create hard men. Hard men create soft times. Soft times create soft men. Soft men create hard times. We are now around soft men and hard times. We're in the time of toxic masculinity, right? Where you could be toxically male.
You start thinking your mind is you versus my mind is a tool that I'm going to use, or if I don't use it, it's going to use me. So the majority of people do that. And by the way, during COVID, that number exploded because so many things were taken from people. They were constantly focused on what's missing, and that produces nothing but pain.
You need to have faith a better version of yourself exists. You need to take responsibility for your own life into your own hands. Most likely you're not going to have a role model following you, telling you what to do, asking you these hard questions and pushing you in the right direction. You need to be the one to do that.
You should be a monster. He said you should be a monster, you should be ruthlessly ambitious, and then learn how to control it.
You have to consider the price you pay for inaction. People presume that inaction has no cost. You don't get to not make a choice. Not making a choice is still making a choice. Every minute that goes by that this decision is undone is a choice. I believe that the longer that you wait before you do a thing that needs doing, all of those minutes that you spend thinking about the thing that needs to be done could have been gotten rid of had you have just done the thing.
So you want to have an agenda for your life. It's necessary that you have some direction for your life. A friend at the National Speakers Convention gave us a presentation, and it really struck me. He was talking about when he was traveling across Europe, Warren Bresson, and he said at different points, soldiers would wake them up on their journey and ask them the question. And I posed this to you. The question was, where have you been? Why are you here? And where are you going?
And it's that old expression, it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war.
The heaviest things in life aren't iron and gold. but unmade decisions. The reason you are stressed is that you have decisions to make and you're not making them.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, there's no indecision, right? There's only, because you age, like you pay for your indecision. It's a decision to avoid, fundamentally.
Which is what I think a lot of it boils down to. Do you actually want to do this or not? Do you actually want to do this or not? Because if you actually want to do it, what's going to stop you? Nothing. And if you don't really want to do it, what's going to stop you? Just about anything that comes up. Just about any obstacle that gets in your way becomes an excuse. It becomes a reason. It becomes a rationale for not proceeding down that path.
If you get to the end of your life and it's not what you wanted it to be, and you didn't create the life that you wanted to, make the money that you wanted to, have the success, the love, the happiness, travel the places that you wanted to, whose fault would it be? And I said, it'd be my fault. And he said, the problem with you is you're treating this life as if you're the victim. And what you need to realize that everything that happens to you is your fault, and that your life won't change until you decide that you want to be the CEO of your life.
Lazy people do a little work and think they should be winning, but winners work as hard as possible and still worry if they're being lazy.
Take a pause before you make a decision and say, what if? And the purpose for saying what if is that whatever decision you make, always either going to have consequences.
But at the same time, everything that happens to us in our lives, we have to say, okay, how did I contribute to this? How am I responding to this? How can I make this bad situation better? What did I do to make the situation happen? If you want to find purpose, you have to take accountability for your life. And what I mean by that is like no one can bestow it upon you. No one can just give you a purpose. It is within you, and it is there to be discovered.
How it's so hard to see the good if you're only seeing the bad. Like, there's so many people that struggle. What appears to be someone else's, well, your shit is never gonna be right. It's never gonna be right.
When the challenges of life come your way, you got to find ways to increase your sense of self-appreciation, because if you don't, you're bombarded with negative stuff every day that beats you down, and you will find yourself unconsciously engaged in self-destructive behavior.
But it isn't me that changes you, it's you. You set the small goals, you achieve those goals.
Life is so difficult and challenging that unless you give it everything you have, the chances are very high that it will embitter you, and then you'll be a force for darkness and not good. And so, you know, the fact that life is short and can be brutal can terrify you into hiding and avoiding, but it can also, you can flip that on its head and understand that since you're all in anyways, you might as well take the risks that are adventurous.
Don't waste your life. Set your goals high. Quit thinking about what's wrong. Start thinking what's right. Love a little more, hate a little less. You have no idea what you're capable of doing. Make up your mind today, you're gonna figure it out.
When I started this, I thought it would be temporary. Now it's going to be permanent. No reason to waste time with it anymore.
I didn't do them willingly. I did them because I was in so much fucking pain that I was boxed into a corner and felt like the only way out was through. In other words, when the pain of my circumstance exceeded the tremendous amount of fear that I was harboring about doing something different. Until you start doing things differently, you're always going to get the same result. And yet we're so calcified around who we are and what we're doing, and this is my identity and this is who I am, that it becomes very difficult to break free of that.
Quote from the ancient Greeks that says, live as though all your ancestors were living again through you.
Missing out on risk is that we have this big fear of this thing, when the reality is that if you risk nothing, you become nothing. You are nothing, because nothing ventured, nothing gained. You're not going to get what you want by never risking what you have. And the thing is that the things that we have aren't always material. And I think this is actually one of the big misconceptions of people who are starting out, is like, I can easily stand here and say, you were the most dangerous in the beginning because you have nothing to lose.
You don't get to do what you want to do. You're gonna have to, some stuff's gonna get sacrificed. Right. So I think it's important that this guy, things that are worthwhile, you have to make sacrifice to achieve them. Yeah. And that's what you're doing right now. You're making some sacrifices.
Be the person that your mum thinks you are, or the person that your younger self wanted as a role model. Brave, courageous, earnest, honest, virtuous, like on fire.
What are you so afraid of losing when nothing in this world belongs to you? None of this is permanent. And so the idea that we'd fear some permanent outcome from an impermanent existence, the longer I've been in the game, the more disgusted I am by that feeling. Nothing great was ever accomplished by someone who was afraid to try because of what they thought other people would think or say about them.
Embrace it. Do what you can. Don't slack off completely. Keep your diet in check. You'd be good to go, man.
Like exceptional is like an obvious one, right? We use the word exceptional like you are not like everyone else. But even saying it like that, like you are not like everyone else. And so if someone says you're not like everyone else, then you can just reframe that as like, I am exceptional. And that's not a bad thing.
When you're young, that you have all this time, you have no time. There's no time. I mean, one of the quotes on the wall in the gym in there is, there is no tomorrow. From Rocky 3, there is no tomorrow. Fuck that shit. Let's get all this shit done today.
Victims see their past as their fate. Champions see their past as their origin story. And so a lot of people are living through their origin story right now, or they're living through the very reason that they'll never be successful, but it could be the exact same situation. And the only difference between either character is the actions they choose to take.
Are you happy? What's wrong with you? I'm driven. I'm obsessed. And that's what you see.
That a lot of people think they have all this time, so they fucking waste it. And they never go out and do what they really set out to do or accomplish or do anything great in their life.
I have nothing to lose. And that was when, if everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as, I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
It's no good if people tell you to do things, if people tell you to work, if they force you to do this, A, B, and C. It has to come from within. You have to have initiative. You have to be motivated to do things. And what I've learned over the course of writing my 7 books and through the course of my whole life is that you master yourself through learning something that you love, that interests you. That's how you develop discipline.
I want to work for myself. I want to create my own schedule, and I want to do all the. If that's your thought process going into it, you're never going to be successful. You have to pay attention to every single detail of the business early on. You're involved in everything. There's no days off. There's no birthdays. There's no fucking Christmas. There's none of that shit.
And I'm going to tell you right now, it won't be easy. It will be hard because life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they're going to do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in, line up those problems and confront them, face them, fight them. Do not let them bring you down.
You want to be a self-starter, you want to learn in life to start things, to do it on your own, not to wait, to just go out there and start it. Because if you start your business, you will learn more in 2 months than in 20 years of business school, right? And you'll probably fail, but your failure will teach you. So stop waiting and just go out and start it.
Honestly, time is our most precious commodity, and especially running business, you have to be really mindful of that. And so I feel like I've found every which way to time hack.
This is your opportunity of a lifetime. Take the 5%. Go the 5% distance. It's gonna be scary as all head. It will drive you to the ground. You'll fail a few times. You'll fall on your face. Get up. Keep getting up. Keep getting up. If you don't, you have to be happy for the rest of your life. If you don't take the last 5%, you have to be happy the rest of your life knowing it went to somebody else's door.
But, you know, there's something you have to say about testosterone. It can turn ugly, but it drives you. It makes you do things. It's got a positive element. It gives you ambition. It makes you go out and do things. 12,000 years ago, it made you go hunt mastodons and kill them with your other members, right? There should be positive things about being a man. And so then, I don't want to stay in adolescence. I don't want to stay in this little cocoon with my mommy and my daddy in my home playing games. I want to go out in the world. I want to conquer. I want to have ambition.
And so just ignore it as best as you can. And you just have to keep showing up in those rooms and be authentically you.
Opportunity comes to you many times. Opportunity comes, you can either take it or remain scared of it. If you don't take it, it's gonna knock on somebody else's door. And it's gonna invite them to the adventure.
Up. That's the name of the game.
I'm going to cut off all other options. You know, I'd heard like Will Smith say there's no reason to have plan B because it distracts from plan A. Like, it's got to be the thing.
And the only way to move forward in life is by starting and just taking action. There's no book or a 12-step program or perfect way that it's going to organize things. And this sounds super trite to say, I know everyone knows that, but people still don't do it. Awareness doesn't mean anything. Action is all that matters.
It won't be easy. It will be hard because life is hard. That's what life is. And these challenges that you face, they're gonna do their best to take you down. Do not let them. Stand up, dig in. Line up those problems and confront them.
Time, don't know what your life is about, and things that you're doing to waste time cannot possibly enrich your brain. So what I would like you to think about is you can't be on tense every moment. You do have to let your mind wander. But if you do it with certain things, they can actually benefit you in some way.
The moment you take action, your life will change. The moment you take action, clarity replaces confusion. The moment you take action, momentum begins. The moment you take action, the right time finally arrives. The moment you take action, you stop waiting for permission.
I just can't let it do it anymore. I'm gonna have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because yeah, nothing changes and nothing changes, man. You know, we'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? What if I was what if I worked on at Avalanche?
If you want to be successful, you have to be choosy about your desires. You have to focus.
You can't be great at everything.
You can't be great at everything. You're just going to waste your energy and waste your time.
The distance that we can shrink between wanting to do something or thinking something should be done and it being done is a direct indication of our personal power in our lives. And so that has helped me basically think, don't be a powerless bitch. Just shrink the gap.
What happens is the more you have a specific plan like this where you're willing to do the ugly and run the numbers, your fear level diminishes to an extent. The notion that it's going to go away completely isn't true.
Yeah.
But there's something about doing the ugly thing that reduces fear. It not only increases your chance of winning, but you're like, the possibility mathematically of me losing now is rather small.
Yeah.
But when you're not doing these things, the reason you're living
thing and still attain it. You can be adamant that your efforts are going to go badly and still succeed.
Your life is supposed to be shit. My argument to this is people go, oh, I don't feel good. I say, good. Your life as a man is going to be terrible the entire time.
Do so much work, it would be unreasonable for you not to be successful. I mean, this is a super known one, but like the magic is in the work that we're not doing, right? It's the obvious list. If you were trying to get in shape, you know you should eat less and you should move more. You know that. And so I used to even do these with, when I would have a weight loss customer who'd come in the door and they'd be like, so tell me more about and I would just say like, do we really need to get into it? Like, you already know what you're supposed to do. The question is why you aren't doing it.
You can have no self-belief and show up anyway. You can want more for yourself without knowing exactly what that looks like. You can doubt the process, question your talent, be uncertain that you're making progress, disparage your accomplishments, permanently feel like you're not working hard enough no matter how hard you work, never give yourself a break, fail to fully feel gratitude, be terrified of never reaching your goals, and still end up in a place that your 20-year-old self could not imagine.
What do you have going on that you have the time to just simply be that negative and do it in this world and universe?
It's just a mismanagement of your time. Yeah, your time is so valuable.
And I don't think people understand how valuable they can be if they use their time correctly.
Yeah, like you have to figure it out, and I love it.
Figure it out, man. It's just piece by piece, and it's the consistency of the work, which I feel like a lot of parents are missing today because we're not teaching that to our kids. We tend to say like kids don't want to do the work, but in reality, it's when we're failing them because we're not leading them the right way and teaching them, how to fish. You know what I mean? And so, like the consistency of work, Monday get better, Tuesday get better, Wednesday get better, right? And you do that over a period of time. Not like 1 month or 2 months. I mean, it's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and then you can get to where you want to go.
Mental toughness, you've taught me. The definition of that is disciplined thinking and disciplined action under pressure and fatigue. So discipline to commit to things even especially when you don't feel like it. The alarm clock goes off at 5:30 in the morning, 5 a.m. It's raining outside, it's dark, it's wet. every ounce of me that just wants to pull the duvet over my head. But champions do not negotiate with themselves in those moments. It's doing it, especially when you don't feel like it.
Life's too short. Let's all really work hard on our best selves. Let's all go crazy. Let's all accomplish the world. Let's all do things that we could have never imagined we've ever done. And let's continue to be great.
And then you start realizing that you can do the thing even though you don't feel good about it. And you start hypertrophying it. But I think the ultimate version of the hypertrophy, when the muscle becomes a tendon,
shit. I'm like, okay, man, do you want to be a today? Do you want to feel like a little, do you want to walk around all day knowing that you could, but you didn't? So it's perform without purpose. You have to learn how to get up and do shit when you ain't got no fucking 5K, no 10K, nothing. Nothing exists. Your life fucking sucks. You're in the fucking dungeon. But guess what, motherfucker? I'm still going to get it.
Doing the thing in spite of not wanting to do the thing is discipline. That is what discipline is.
Yeah.
If you want to do the thing, it doesn't take any discipline to do it. Did it take discipline to eat the cheesecake? No. It took discipline to not eat the cheesecake because you have to force yourself to do the thing that you do not want to do.
Mm-hmm.
That is what discipline is. You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. You are greater than your feelings. Going to bed late and waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. If you're one of those people that push work-life balance, just remember, the people who like working a lot don't care. I've never regretted trying harder at anything ever. Hard times last long, but an epic story feels like a lifetime.
Not quitting and not giving up on myself. No matter how hard is the time of what I'm going through and whatever shit I feel, I'm going to still put in the same work regardless of how I feel. And that's a champion mentality, because champion's not controlled by their outside circumstances. They control their own mind inside and how they act, and then the world goes on around them.
Unconsciously, things are wheels are turning in there, and your frustration is merely a sign that you're not aware of the progress that you're making unconsciously, and you have to push through it.
So you can't escape yourself. You can't escape your dark sides. You can't escape your pain and your suffering and everything that in a way is triggering you also. And this is where I feel like to have this, let's say, concept at the moment, to really invest time in bringing out, understanding yourself better, and then build yourself up.
But I was probably one of the 3 that were there almost every single day to try to continue to push myself to grow in these maybe physical areas that I was really behind a lot of other people at. Because naturally, no one's good at everything. I mean, that's just not the way life works. We're all talented at certain things, but we can really continue to improve our weaknesses if we're humble enough to identify them, and we can build on our strengths.
It tells it you're capable of anything, but the only way that you're going to get there is by suffering. Suffering is your success equation.
Care, I didn't know any better. I didn't think about it. Wow. I didn't know that working out that hard would fuck you up.
Did it fuck you up?
Oh yeah.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're gonna do it to try and be the best. Not be better than other people, be the best for you.
It's hard when you're young to wake up in the off season at 6 a.m. to go train and work out, knowing that all your friends are sleeping in and eating pancakes. It's hard when you're on your way to practice, weighed down with all your gear, and it's 90 degrees out and all the other kids are at the pool or at the beach, and your body is already completely exhausted from workouts in 2-a-days. It's hard to throw, catch, block, and tackle, and hit kids when they're way bigger and way more developed than you, only to go home that night bruised and battered and strained, but knowing you have to show up again the next day for just the chance to try again. But understand this, life is hard.
People think, I'll say what I have to say when I get to the point where I'm protected and secure. It's like, first of all, being protected and secure does not give you the courage to say what you have to say. That's a completely, that theory couldn't be more backwards. You think you're going to get braver and braver as you get more and more protected? You think that's how the world works? I mean, I've watched university professors think that at some point they're going to say what they think as they develop their career, but by the time they're protected and secure, they've spent so much time not saying what they think that they aren't even who they were and they don't know what they think.